Last week, I made a tier list for Mortal Kombat 1, and it did really well. However, one comment I kept seeing all over the place was, what about the online tier list, underdog? Which characters can I win consistently with regardless of the connection? Even if there's crazy lag, which characters are still consistently good, even if they're tossed into a really bad online match? So today, let's make that video, the definitive online tier list. Once again, I've done a ton of research for this video, including looking at new tier lists by top players. Now that being said, I'm also considering the casual audience because let's be honest, 90% of players are casual. They're not competing in pro tournaments or anything. But with all that being said, please post in the comments down below what your tier list looks like, and if you enjoy the video, please leave a like down below. It really does help my channel out a ton, and without any further ado, let's begin. Starting off with the top 5, and to nobody's surprise, it's Baraka. This guy gets consistent damage quite easily, his overhead combos, his low combos, his attacks are lightning quick, which makes him great at whiff punishing. This guy is good at pretty much everything, and combined with the right cameo, he's not even punishable. That is, unless you're fighting Johnny Cage, who is also definitely in the top 5. This guy has crazy high damage, but the execution of his combos is not nearly as difficult as Kenshi, which means even in a really laggy connection, he can still get the job done. However, that being said, make no mistake, Kenshi is also up here as well, because even if you don't resort to the crazy damaging combos, Kenshi's keep away is still really good. He's a fantastic zoner, and even his basic combos can still do really good damage. But now it's time for a surprise pick, and his name is Shang Tsung. If you don't believe me, just watch Foxy Grandpa. This character can win matches with just 2 special moves, and that's because keep away can be quite frustrating online. You get in the opponent's head, you put them on tilt, they're angry now and they can't focus, and before you know it, you've won the match. Shang Tsung's triple fireball is super annoying, his ground fireball is great for combos. This guy really can do it all. He's a bit on the complex side, but when it comes to online play, you don't need to fully master the character, you just need to know how to keep the opponent at bay and then punish them with a good combo. And then finally, at the end of top 5, we have Raiden. This character can do a little bit of everything, but most importantly, his combos hurt really bad. But then on top of that, Raiden can also teleport, which means he gets in really easily, especially when combined with certain cameos. He can also charge his projectiles and fire a bunch at once, which is great for ending the round with chip damage to cash out on that victory. Raiden can do a bit of everything. But next up, it's time for the crazy good category. First up, I want to add Smoke, because online in a bad connection, this guy is going to mix you up until you're dead, and it's going to be super frustrating. His overhead leads to a full combo, his low leads to a full combo, the vapor cancels can lead into throws and even more guaranteed pressure, his teleport beats any projectile in the game. Yeah, this character is already really good on paper, but combine him with a laggy match and he is one of the best characters in the entire game. Next up, we have Melina. A lot of people are down playing Melina, and I do not understand why. She is the queen of whiff punishing, and even her most basic combos do like 35 or 40%, and that's without a cameo. Once you add the cameo characters, she's easily getting 45, almost 50% damage with the correct combo, so she hurts a lot. And then on top of that, her ball roll can punish most projectiles, her Psy hits low for a decent mix-up. Yeah, this character can do pretty much everything. She also controls the sky with her air spin, she's crazy. But guess what? There's one character who's even better at whiff punishing, and her name is Ashura. Her damage is a bit lower unless you find the perfect cameo and the perfect combo. Typically her damage is a bit lower. However, that doesn't really matter because she's still getting 40%, and because the opponent can't hit her sword, she's really good at whiff punishing and just trading in the neutral. Whenever I play Ashura, I'm not afraid to press buttons because most of the time my sword wins. They can't hit it, but my sword can cut them, so I get a combo and then I buff my character, get some curses on the opponent, and just keep on going. However, now it's time for another surprise pick, and once again, keep in mind this is the online tier list, and in my experience, nobody knows how to defend against Rain. Whenever I pick this character, I'm catching them with every low, every overhead. I'm setting up portals all over the place, I'm catching them with anti-airs. They don't know what to do against this character. I feel like nobody is practicing Rain, and as a result, when they face him online, they don't know what he can do, and they're just getting bodied by all of his mix-ups and setups. This character is actually really good. And then right behind him, we have Kung Lao, because this guy is aggression personified. He sticks to the opponent like glue, he has great mobility, that dive kick is insane. And yeah, there's not much else to say. If you like being aggressive and you want to just pressure the opponent until they're dead, Kung Lao can be a really great pick. And actually, real quick, I'm going to put Liu Kang in front of Kung Lao. They're both pretty good at the tournament level, but I feel like online, Liu Kang just covers more situations. Kung Lao is definitely better at getting in, but Liu Kang is great at whiff punishing punishing, and he can zone and play keep away like nobody's business, and his teleport can get past stuff too. It doesn't go very far, but trust me, that little underground teleport can do a lot more work than you think. And then for the cherry on top, his damage is absolutely insane. So yeah, Liu Kang, especially online, can really get the job done. He's good at pretty much everything, because normally his one weakness is mix-ups, but online his cameos can make up for that, because in a bad connection it's hard to react to an overhead cameo. And then finally, let's talk about Garrus. This character can be on the tough side if you want to play him more technical and set up your hourglasses to gain access to new abilities, but if you don't do that, he's still a super solid character anyway. He's got command grabs and sneaky lows and overheads in his strings, which are reactable, but not enough people are playing this character, and as a result his mix-ups catch people all the time. And finally, even from far away, Garrus still has some interesting options, and don't forget about his damage. Everyone's got damage it seems like, but Garrus also has damage, I gotta mention it. And now finally it's time for the really strong tier. I'm gonna go ahead and put Reiko here. Reiko is such an interesting character because on everyone's tier list he's either right in the middle or he's near the top. Or in other words, nobody can agree on if this character is fantastic or just really good. I'm one of the people who believes that he's really good, especially when it comes to online play, and that's because if you use the right cameo with his command grab, you're getting 25-30% for an unblockable, which is crazy good. However, that said, the timing is a bit difficult, and then for his main gameplay, Reiko is kind of a whiff punish, frame trap kind of character, and that can make him slightly harder to master than the more straightforward rushdown or keep away characters. That said though, man, his projectile is absurdly good. There is no reason for his projectile to be that good. Actually, you know what? I changed my mind. I'm going to put Reiko here and Garrus down here. Try and fight me about it. Stop me from doing it. It's my video. Next up, we have Reptile. This man is the king of whiff punishing, and his projectiles are fantastic for space control. He can also turn invisible to really frustrate the opponent, and he has a teleport if he needs it. So when you combine all those factors with his above average damage, he's crazy, especially at the tournament level. But online, he's a bit lower on the tier list because once again, he relies on whiff punishing, which can be a bit tricky in a bad connection, and he also doesn't have the abusable overhead low mix-ups that so many casual players love to use. Next up, we have Sindel. This character's keep away is absolutely insane, and her more tricky combos also do a lot of damage, and unlike Kenshi's, they're not that difficult, but they do require some practice. Keep in mind, every one of these characters on the tier list can win consistently online. Even the bottom character on this tier list can still win consistently if you master their toolset. Next up, let's talk about Scorpion. I see some people crying in the comments saying Scorpion is bad. He's not, okay? His special moves just aren't lightning quick anymore, and that's okay. His teleport and spear never should have been that fast in Mortal Kombat 11, and as a result, in Mortal Kombat 1, he's been slowed down a bit, but only on his special moves. He still has a meterless combo starter. He can combo from the air to the ground or ground to the air, and even though his teleport is slower, it can still punish a lot of keep away and zoning in the game, so he's got that area covered too. And finally, when combined with the correct cameo, he's also safe on a lot of stuff, so I think Scorpion is solid, but for a lot of online players, he's a bit on the slow side. Next up, let's talk about General Shao. This man is the whiff punish monster, and then if you take the time to learn both of his movesets, he's also a mix-up god as well. Both of his mix-ups lead to a full combo if you pair him with Motaro. The overhead, that's a full combo, and online, very hard to react to. The low, unreactable, and also leads to a full combo with the right cameo, or if you drop his axe. And the axe itself, the overhead low attack is so hard to deal with online. So yeah, General Shao becomes really good once you corner the opponent. I understand at tournaments, locally, he might be a bit lacking, but online, I think he's very solid. Next up, let's talk about Tanya. This is gonna be a bit of a controversial take because in my other tier list, I said that she was bottom 3. But keep in mind that this tier list is about playing online, and online, Tanya has better reach than any other character. No one else can hit you from half screen with a normal and get a full combo conversion. And on top of that, her parry is perfect for online play because almost everybody I fight against wakes up with a special move. No one wakes up and just blocks, and as a result, you parry and just get a full combo on him again. When it comes to online, Tanya can be quite strong. Her combo damage is below average, that is true, but when combined with certain cameos, it's still decent damage. But next up, let's talk about Nitara. I see so many people downplaying this character, but when it comes to pro tier lists, just like Reiko, she's either near the bottom or she's in the middle or sometimes near the top. Nobody can agree how good this character is. So here's my opinion. Nitara's overhead is a fantastic whiff punisher. Her low can be a decent decent mix-up, especially when you frustrate the opponent. A character's mix-ups don't have to be unreactable to catch the opponent blocking wrong, you just have to mix it up correctly and even delay it every now and then and catch them off guard. And the best part about Natara is, once you land that mix-up, you get a lot of damage, whether it's low or overhead. She's getting 40% damage every single time. And everyone keeps forgetting, she can also drain the opponent's life just by being near them, and that fills up her health bar. So Natara is one of the only characters in the game that can heal herself. So when you combine all these factors together, I think Natara can be really strong. Yes, she does not have a true 50-50, but you can still land those mix-ups just fine, and her combos really hurt. And now finally it's time for the good tier. Yes, these are the bottom 4, but that doesn't mean they're terrible. You can still get wins with them, I assure you. First up, we have Havoc. Very similar to Rain, nobody is studying this character, and that kind of makes sense because you have to beat story mode to unlock him, and even then, I don't think a lot of players are interested in Havoc. Maybe he's just visually not appealing, I'm not sure what the issue is, but not many people are playing him, and as a result, if you use Havoc online, the opponent's not going to know what you're capable of, which is honestly quite great. However, unlike Rain, Havoc is not very straightforward, and that's why a lot of players don't take the time to learn him, or in other words, Havoc is just kind of difficult to play. He's very unorthodox, his combos aren't tough, they're just really weird. Havoc plays different from every other character in the game, but that's kind of on brand. Next up, we have Sub-Zero. This man brings the 50-50s. Yes, his overhead is technically reactable, but trust me, in a bad connection, when you mix things up enough, it can still land just fine. But if you're that worried about it, then just pair him with Cyrax, and then the overhead is 100% safe, and also Cyrax in the corner gives Sub-Zero a 50% damage combo. So if you're that worried about it, then I recommend picking Cyrax so everything is safe. But his low attack is fast at 13 frames, it can whiff punish really well, and it is a mix-up. And when combined with the right cameo, it leads to a full combo. I used Goro and was getting 32-33% for no meter. And that's the cool thing about Sub-Zero, no pun intended. He does not need meter for anything. Now that being said, his meter is also not good for combo damage at all, but it's kind of a weird lose-win situation. On the one hand, his meter combos should do more damage. I agree, they should be buffed a little bit, but on the other hand, you have combo breaker all the time. If I'm being honest, depending on who you ask, they may argue that Sub-Zero's way up here, because trust me, you think his overhead's reactable, but against most regular players, it's really not, and they get caught crouching all the time. But then finally, we have Katana and Li Mei. I'm gonna be honest, these two characters are pretty much tied for last place when it comes to online. And once again, that's not because these characters are bad. If you lose while playing these characters, that's your own fault. Once you master them, you can absolutely get wins with these characters. However, all that being said, when it comes to the online warrior preferences, these characters just don't got it. Do you want 50-50s? These characters don't have it. Do you want great counter zoning? These characters don't have it. Do you want to run away the whole match and play keep away and get tons of damage that way? These characters don't have it. They're still solid, don't get me wrong. I guarantee you both of these characters are going to win a tournament at some point in time. But once again, this is the online tier list, and I think these characters definitely struggle more than anybody else. Not because they're bad, but because they lack the exploits that so many online casual players love to use. But there you have it, everyone. That's my Mortal Kombat 1 tier list for the online warriors. Please let me know your thoughts in the comment section down below, and then while you're down there, leave a like if you enjoyed the video. It really does help my channel out a ton. And then finish that combo by subscribing and ringing that bell, that way you never miss any future videos. Make sure to come back next time, and as always, stay underdogs.